Hello sisters, this is the new month and we're putting out a new newsletter, and with that newsletter I'm giving you a video. Last month we did spring cleaning. This month I'll let you know what it is in a minute. But this week has been very difficult for me, a very emotional week for me, because my dad passed away a week ago Friday in his sleep at the age of 98. And of course I've reflected on my life with my dad and my mom. She's been gone for 18 years. I've been in California all week, sorting through all kinds of things and cleaning out closets and organizing. With my parents, I never saw any conflict between them. All I saw was love and support and admiration for each other. I remember Mom would be cooking meals in the kitchen, and my dad would come in, bend her over backwards, and give her the biggest kiss. And of course, all of his kids would say, "Oh, Dad, don't do that. Come on, you're embarrassing us." And my mom would say, "Oh, Bob." They were both spiritually on the same level. They had the same intellectual level, and they're both socially outgoing with everything they did, and they loved meeting people. But my dad was very organized. Everything in his office had its place. And if someone borrowed something, he knew it was gone because they didn't put it back exactly the way he had left it. But that's the only place he kept organized. That was his place. Now my mom was the complete opposite. She was a writer and a very creative person. She has written many articles for the Ensign. She's written many plays for the church. She organized a lot of church events for all of Southern California. In fact, she was Southern California's communications director for the church and all of Arizona. She started an LDS magazine that came out monthly in the LA area, interviewing Mormon celebrities like the Osmonds. She also had an insert put in the Orange County Register about the Mormons that came out weekly. She would do satellite broadcasts in Salt Lake City with some of the general authorities that would be broadcast throughout the world on communications, how to become a better communicating director in the church, and she would answer those questions. When they would go to Salt Lake, they would always say to my dad, "Oh, you're Kit Poole's husband." And my dad loved it because he was her biggest fan. Along with being creative, she never stopped thinking about the next project and what she was going to do, and so she was a very messy person. She did not think about the here and the now and what had to go back and how to straighten. So, my dad, a few years ago, I asked my dad, how did you learn to cope with Mom? Because you guys are so different. And he related the story to me and his experience. He said, before he went off to war, they were just newlyweds. They had been married in the Mesa Temple for 2 weeks. Then he went off to World War II. And he said, I was in the kitchen with Mom, with Kit, and she kept pulling things out of the cupboards to cook. And she would pull this out and pull that out, this pot and pan. And he was saying, why? He was thinking to himself, why doesn't she put those things back? Can't she see how easy it is just to put those things back? And then he realized, that's not who Kit is. That's not what she does. So from that moment on, he decided that he was going to pick up and clean up after Mom. And he did that until my mom died. He never made her feel guilty. He did it out of love. He was not resentful, but he did it out of love and devotion for her. Now, each of us, we come into our marriages with different personalities, and we have different histories that we've experienced. Same as our children. Our children come into our lives, and they all have different personalities. So, if we are so different, how do we communicate our love to each other? Because each of us expresses love differently. How we communicate our love and how we feel is what I'm going to talk about. This book, it is called The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts by Harry Chapman. Now, I'm not going to promote this book, but I'm going to steal his ideas because we are so different. We all receive and give love differently. This is not to focus on the word love, but what kind of love that is essential to have an emotionally healthy family or healthy life. I was talking to my daughter last night, and she said that her love language is the act of service. She loves to give service. And so that is what she gives to everyone, and that's her way of showing people that she loves them. But she also gives that service to her husband, but that's not her husband's love language. The key to knowing how to give love to your husband is to know and understand what their love language is. Now, it just so happens that my son-in-law's love language is quality time. So they both do a lot of service together because it's quality time. So she's doing service and he's getting his quality time with her. He is showing love he is showing love for her by being with her, spending time with her. And she is showing love for him in the same way. It is also so important to know what your children's love languages are. Mostly at that age, their love language is receiving gifts, but they do have an identity. They do have a certain love language. So you need to identify what their special love language is, and that is how you can show love to them, and hopefully they will respond positively to that. It's most important that the children feel loved and are cared for so that they can become responsible adults. Now, we're going to go over the different categories of love language in little vignettes that my husband and I have done. Words of affirmation. Now, Mark Twain once said that he could live 2 months on one compliment. Oh, Todd!
Yes, Heather?
I want to tell you how much I love your dry sense of humor. It always makes me laugh.
Oh, thank you, Heather. I will always make sure that my humor never dries up for you.
Oh, thank you, Todd. Quality time. Put your cell phone down, turn off the TV, and talk.
Oh, Heather,
Yes, Todd?
would you like to go for a walk with me? And we can leave our cell phones here at home.
What a great idea. Let's go. Receiving gifts. Now, visual symbols of love can be very important to some. It doesn't have to be something store-bought. You can home make it. It could be something you found somewhere, or it could be their favorite treat.
Heather,
Yes, Todd?
I have some gifts for you. I have some flowers, some soap,
Oh my goodness!
a freedom rock,
Freedom Rock.
some hand lotion,
My favorite. Love spell.
and a candle.
Oh, this smells so good.
And I've also called a cleaning lady, and she's coming to clean our house for you for Mother's Day.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. Acts of service. There's an old saying that says action speaks louder than words, and that is so true with acts of service.
Heather,
Yes, Todd?
I've done some things for you.
What?
I've washed the clothes and folded them. I've washed your car. And I've also emptied the dishwasher.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Todd.
Oh, you're welcome.
Physical touch. Now, this is a powerful communicator of love. It can just be hands on the shoulder. As you go in your quality time walks, hold hands. As you pass each other in the hallway or doing things at home, just touch each other, give each other a quick hug. And that is all that is needed for physical touch. These were just little vignettes that my husband and I had fun putting together to show all the different types of love language and how you can express it. We will be providing a link that you'll click onto so that you and your family can take the love test and learn how to express love for each other in their love language. Enjoy.